All right, in front of our world headquarters, we've got James Carville, the former Bill Clinton campaign strategist, author of a new book called We're Still Right, They're Still Wrong, The Democrats' Case for 2016. Good morning to you, James.
Good morning. Good morning.
Great to have
what
you.
a nice day here in New
It's
York
beautiful.
City.
I think that your wife had won you over and said, hey, I got news for you. I'm now a Republican. Mary Matlin.
I'm 72 years old. I'm not changing wives, political party, or sexual orientation. I'm pretty much taking what I got into the house
Good,
now.
because we only have two bathrooms.
We're gonna finish this thing out.
That's why advertisers focus on the younger generation, because you can change their minds. But you get to a certain age, no changes.
All right, James, let's talk about politics. The cover of the New York Post today, your friend Hillary Clinton, who wants to be president of the United States, it's all about the AP story, and it talks about how half the people who wound up talking to her or saw her wound up donating millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. The Post calls it donation.
85 of 156.
Yeah. This does not look good.
Well, let's start. The featured person in the thing was a man named Muhammad Yunus. So just so, Muhammad Yunus won the Nobel. He is the person who started micro-lending, which has probably helped more people in poverty than any concept it did. He won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2008. He won the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and he won a Congressional Gold Medal.
Was he a donor?
Yes. Proudly, he was a donor. Not only that, he came to Arkansas in 1983. He's almost a lifelong friend of the Clintons and started a micro-lending project there. He was being repressed by the government of Bangladesh. And so if the State Department can't help a Nobel Prize-winning economist who's being subject to oppression by the host government, who can they help? And by the way, the Clinton Foundation uses him a lot, but they do a lot of micro-lending. And this is where a farmer would maybe borrow equivalent of $70 to build a weir or to have a ditch to
James,
be
you
flooded.
fill out a guy that's obviously done tremendous things, and he is listed in that.
Another one I know.
But this is 85, so 50%.
I only know the names again. Danny Abraham. Danny Abraham, I think, is about 92 years old. I know Danny well. He is the foremost advocate for peace in the Middle East. Danny has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on trying to promote peace in the Middle East. He's a lifelong friend of mine. I'm going
but
down the list.
But you can't go through 85 people. How about the perception? How about the perception?
I'm going by the names that I know.
But you can't go. We don't have enough time to go through 85 people.
No, Steve Schwarzman is that one of the largest foundations. I happen to have met Steve one time. I am pretty sure he's a Republican.
James, everyone's for helping and charity. It's odd that the lines here are muddy. You have the Clinton Foundation and the State Department.
It looks like they were selling access.
Let's go. The Clintons have taken. Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton have never taken a penny from the foundation. In fact, they've given them millions of dollars. The board of the foundation serves without pay. It is a 5-star rated foundation by Charity Watch. It is one of the best-run foundations in the world. Now, the idea that people are involved in the foundation are also involved with public-private partnerships around the world. That's one of the things that they do. So, of course, and this does not count, as the list is pointed out, didn't count heads of state or people from government.
James, but this is the second consecutive day of getting these stories of Cheryl Mills calling the COO of the foundation, leaving 140 messages back and forth. Doesn't it bother you, the commingling of both, when she signed an ethics agreement not to do that?
That doesn't, again, she doesn't take a penny. They don't get a cent out of it. They've never taken a penny.
All right, listen, Donald Trump was asked about this last night at Sean Hannity's town hall. Listen to what he says about it, and then we'll get your reaction.
It's disgusting. It shouldn't be allowed. What's going on with Hillary Clinton? There is no justice in this country. There is no justice in this country. Zero. And for her to have
there's supposed to be
James, go ahead.
With what she's done,
he's still talking.
With deleting 33,000 emails, and you can imagine what was on those emails. It is so sad, and the whole world is looking, and the whole world is laughing at the United States.
There's supposed to be a firewall between the State Department and the Clinton Foundation, and it just looks like there wasn't.
Well, in many instances, the Crown Prince of Bahrain, which is probably the most important strategic ally in the Middle East. We have the 5th Fleet, I think, is there. And he said he got the meeting through normal channels. If you see him, tell him hello. All right. I think the Clinton Foundation is one of the great like 1/3 of the people with pediatric AIDS in the world get their medication through the Clinton Foundation. They reduced the cost of malaria drugs, which is probably the most pervasive disease around the world, by about 85%. They do micro-lending, which is one of the great things. The three things about Bill Clinton, who I love, his three greatest achievements in my mind was he stopped the genocide, he did the Human Genome Project, which is going to save our children and grandchildren, extend life by how low, and the Clinton Foundation. I think it is a terrific organization.
Let me ask you about Baton Rouge, because
Sure.
it didn't look good when the president was playing golf. He was in Martha's Vineyard. You had Hillary Clinton campaigning, $33,000 a plate or a picture, a selfie with her.
Right.
And then you had Donald Trump and Mike Pence. They stopped everything, and they went down to help those victims.
All right. Let's start. I just happened to run into James Lee Witt, who was President Clinton's FEMA director in Baldwin County. He said, we had a rule in the Clinton administration is the president didn't come till I told him all clear.
Right.
Because our governor told the president, I got people doing things, I really would prefer that you not come now because I don't want to take the people off. Donald Trump came, thank you, Donald Trump. He gave $100,000 to a church in Greenville Springs, which was very effective. Thank you, Donald Trump. The federal response, by everybody's estimation, has been superb. Thank you, Craig Fugate and FEMA.
Sure. But James, remember when George W. Bush was president, he just was lambasted by the press, including by Barack Obama for not showing up. And now,
again, he came pretty soon after. I think the problem was the FEMA response during Katrina was less than stellar. Craig Fugate, by the way, was Jeb Bush's FEMA director in Florida. He is a professional disaster man. There's nothing about politics. And I think the view in Louisiana, and this is, by the way, thank you for bringing it up, it is a first-class tragedy. Sure. We have people that have lost their home, but our governor, whose brother's a sheriff, whose daddy was a sheriff, who's a West Point honor graduate, who's an Army Ranger, asked the president not to come till they could get the people.
James, question in your book. What do you mean you're still right?
Well, look, I think if you look at from statistics, economic statistics, if you look at the climate argument, if you look at so many things, I think the Democrats have just proven to be substantially more right about more things over a long period of time. And that's the argument that I'm making in the book. And by the way, if anybody is interested in it, it's right here.
That's why he's here to sell the book.
Well, thank y'all for having me. I really do. Thank you for asking about Baton Rouge.
Exit question for you. Who's going to win?
Donald Trump says he's a winner, that he's going to be ahead by Labor Day, and he's going to win all three debates. So I don't know, but we'll see if he's a winner or not. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fleur-de-lis on your tie and your fleur-de-lis on your lapel.
And I got
happy socks.
And you're not changing wives, so we did make some news.
What's on your belt?
Snowballs.
It looks like ice cream cones.
Yeah, it looks like, it's kind of snowballs.
Look at that.
Okay. I think it's ice cream cones.
Anything else you want to show us before you go?
That's it.
I don't know if the salesperson told you snowballs, they lied. Those are ice cream cones.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.